to make it work. Okay, there we are. So let's post this here real quick. Yeah, that's it. Okay, that was fast. I like that. Okay. It's okay. I think we still got this under control. The luminous intensity has come out. Oh, it's already in here. Okay, no problem. Okay. Okay, I want to turn it. Okay. Exactly. I think that's better. I think that's better. Really. That's the next experience. You can see how things are more. I can just accordingly.
お前も知ってんだろ俺が昔里のみんなに嫌われてたことその理由ってのは俺の中のキューブだ俺は迷惑でもバイキンでもねってもよ俺は渦巻きになるとだ
Okay, so if you're in the stream right now, you drop some comments. Let me know how it is. Okay, so I'll know where to adjust. But I did some testing today, and so far so good. I think I got the sound. So let me know how it is. 626 MI. Can you hear my voice well? Is my voice over? My voice should overshadow the game sound. But then again, you should also be able to hear the game sound as well. It shouldn't just be completely, mute. So, yeah, Sam's Honor, yeah, that's him. Sam's Honor from, what's kind of Sam's Honor from again? Okay, Dead Crab, yeah, from BT. Yeah, that's him. The music is super loud. Wow. Are you sure that's not your volume rockers? Because when we get into the, okay, so when we get into the game, what we're going to be hearing is just the sound effects. And yeah, because of, let me change the thing. Okay, let me use this. Yeah, let me use this classic. Okay, so how does it sound now? Is the music still super loud? Let me know if I'm going to tune down my volume rockers a little bit. What do you say, Robert? Say I've watched the classic. Okay, say it's better. Okay, that's you say I've watched the classic. Okay, I'm gonna tune my volume rockers a little bit down. You see, I don't hear the music anymore. Wow. Yeah, I've changed the music. I actually changed it to the normal, the normal classic song. So it's kind of low in the background. But the sound is not, the music is not actually the main concern. Actually, what is actually the main concern is when we enter inside the game. You're going to be able to hear the draft. You're going to be able to hear the notifications and all. So, the game music is not actually relevant here. You see, you don't hear the music anymore. Wow. Okay. Let me increase that. So, how is that now? Do you hear the sound, the music? Do you hear the music? Yeah. Okay, there's the difference. So, Robert, do you hear the music now? I need your comments, Robert, so that I can know what I'm doing. I can know whether to adjust. I don't increase my volume rockers. So I need to know what I'm doing. Okay, so you don't hear the music. No, the music. Okay, you know what? Let me change the music. I think it's the music I'm playing. Okay. Okay, how is this now? How is the music now? It's loud and low on your end. Oh, you hear that? Oh, that's better now. Okay. Wait, are you sure your volume rockers are also not low? Because that's another thing. You know, your volume rockers can be down, and you actually not be able to hear the background sound. So you should also check that on your end too. You know, because I could be stressing myself because your maybe reduce it a little bit. Okay. Let me just tune my volume rockers a bit. Because if I touch this one, it's actually not going to. Okay, I've tuned. Okay. All right. So, how is the balance now? How is the balance between my voice and the game sound? How is the balance? Like, can you hear my voice more than the game sound? I hope that's the case, because that's supposed to be the case. Okay, it's good. Okay, it's good. Okay. So, Robert, thank you so much for the sound testing. I appreciate your time. Okay, because this is necessary, for the experience. It's necessary for the experience. Okay. So, with that being said, I can see that DT being diligent and punctual as they've always been. They're already here with Quanche, Shadow X, Sam's Glory, T-Rex, and Phantom, the mage of DT. Quanche, the Quanche is the jungler of DT. Shadow X is the okay. You can see T-Rex here. T-Rex is the EXP laner. Sam's Glory. I think Sam's Glory is I can't really remember what I think it's the Roma. And then Shadow X is the marksman. T-Rex is the EXP. Phantom is the mage. Quanche is the jungler. Sam's Glory is the Roma. Okay, yeah, that's that for their lineup. And okay, Robert says, I wish I could join this clan, but I'm inconsistent. Well, so everyone is like that. Okay, I'm also part of the squad. Okay, but the thing is, my squad doesn't really play games and tournaments like that. We don't enroll that often because of things like this. We don't have players that are standby that we can say, we can have a ready lineup, ready 5-man lineup that can represent us. So we had that issue back then, and our squad leader just kind of said, okay, let's play stuff on all days. And we basically right now we just meet each other in classic and just organize 3-man ranks, and that's basically what we do these days. We don't actually play screens and play tournaments. I think last tournament we joined was the one before Lord's tournament. I can't really remember the name, but that was the last one we joined. So it's best of 3. Eagles, the blood red. It's best of 3. So that's that about that. The quarterfinals, it's only the finals that is best of 5. So keep that in mind, okay? Keep that in mind. Okay, so with that being said, we're just gonna wait until how members show up. They are always late. It's not a new thing, so you guys are gonna have to, get used to that. Okay. So it says go how hey Abdul. Okay, Sabrina Muhid, you are the one. I know you. I know you played this thing. Someone says my voice is very low. Wait, how is my voice very low? Wait, you can't hear my voice. The reborn, you can't hear my voice. Like, what's going on here? Can't you hear my voice at all? You say music is too loud. Wow. Okay, you know what? You guys are complaining right now. First of all, check your volume rockers, because different people are on different volumes, and that actually matters a lot. You say the music is louder than my voice. Okay, you see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, let me reduce the music a bit. Okay, I'm going to tone down the sound a bit. Alright, so I've reduced it a bit now, so no one should actually complain about that. So okay, so how is it now? Isaac, how is it now? Check your volume rockers as well, because if your volume rockers are high, it's definitely going to be, the music is definitely going to overshadow my voice. So because the music is actually in the background and my voice is actually layering on it, so you need to also take note of that. If you like, say, you go shout to, oh guy, see, reduce your volume rockers, guy. I cannot please everybody. I beg, because I've already reduced the sound. There's literally, like, if I literally move below this, you guys are literally not going to hear anything, unless I'm gonna tone down the music, and then in game you're gonna hear only the sound effects and the system notifications. That's basically all you are going to hear. Because right now I think the music is a problem, and I don't want to switch it up completely. I really don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. So okay, I can still go down tonight. I can still go down a bit. I can still go down a bit. Oh, okay, that's muted. Okay, I think I can go down a bit. Okay, so Isaac, how does that sound now? Isaac, let me hear from you. How does that sound now? Does that sound better? Is that your fit? No, I went down. This is like the lowest of the low. Like, this is the lowest of the low. So how is this now? How is this now? How does this sound now? No. I can't turn it off. I can't turn it off. There's a reason why I can't turn it off. No, not screen. I can't turn it off. But how is the sound now? How is the sound now, Isaac? How is the sound now? If you say turn off the music one more time, I'm not actually going to, because I think you're going to be trolling right now. But how is the music right now? Okay, you said it's okay. All right. So the person know what make you want to say every online by this time, you know, off oh my goodness. Oh, you guys are still on curfew. Well, it's all good. I understand. But you have earpiece now. You have earpiece. You have earpods. Like, don't you have any? I mean, you don't have to put you don't have to listen on speaker now. So they said they won't how are not even here yet, because they only have like 6 minutes to show up. This is 10:04 already, and we're all in the lobby already waiting for them. So if they don't actually show up and it's 10:10, Tourney is actually going to invalidate the first match, and they're gonna get a free 1 point. That's for DT. I don't know. I don't see any single member of AO here. This is the quarterfinals. You guys can afford to, be like this, because if you're like this in the quarterfinals, how is it gonna be in the semis? Or how do you even want to get to the semis if you're not even punctual to your matches? So that is something that is not actually, commendable for AO. Okay, Robert says, can we play against them? That's not actually up to me. That's up to the refs. Okay, Tourney is the ref for this match, so you can actually chat him up on WhatsApp. I think his ID is also there, so you can chat him up in game as well. He's online right now. Okay, so that's it. I'm coming. I'm coming. One sec, guys. Let me just check something out. Okay, yeah, so let me see the comments. I'm gonna see the comments. Okay, someone says free one is crazy talk. Well, the thing is that, look, there are rules. Okay, Robert, there are rules. If a squad does not show up and the 10-minute grace is used up, the first match is invalidated, and it is given to the opponent that has more members present. Okay, it's just the rules. Okay, it's just how I'm not the one that I didn't make the. Okay, someone says, okay, I got that. Okay, I got that now. Okay, okay, so if someone says make a text Tourney to give our extra time. Well, James, the ref doesn't actually have that power to give extra time. Unless maybe there's like a very, very, very serious situation. I think there are some kind of exceptions. I didn't really read the exceptions tab, but then again, I know that there are exceptions whereby a ref can give them, extra time. There are already members here. Kempachi, Xenos, and Royal Lion is already here. Man, Lems, my favorite guy from, how is already here. So there's not actually need for us to actually do that. So, there's not actually need for us to do that. So, Reborn, Reborn is actually, he wants to play against them, but there won't be any need for that, because how are nearly complete. They just are missing one member. Okay, so guys in the chat, guys in the comments, I can see that we currently have about 7 people watching. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think DT are going to win this match, or do you guys think how we make a comeback and take DT? What do you think? What do you guys think? I want to hear you guys comment. Like, before we even get into the draft, before we get into the lobby bands, let me know who has an insight on this team enough for me to agree with the person. Okay, James says I call how. Well, how is actually the Toxic couldn't know and accept them. They're already in already, James. So Tourney accepted them already. Said if I had my Argos, they would win. I don't really think them not having Argos would result in them actually not having a chance against DT. But let's give how how they've removed Sam's honor. Okay, oh, they said Kony now. Robert says I think DT would win. To be honest, it's going to be tight because the one person that is most problematic in DT is actually Phantom, because Phantom is actually very good. Shadow X is a very good marksman. Shadow X is Shadow X, laning phase is, if it goes well, Phantom is very, very good at rotating and assisting. Phantom is good, especially on the Fasa. Phantom is really, really, I commend Phantom with the Fasa. Okay, so if they can actually take down Phantom and make sure Shadow X is ineffective, I think they can stand a very good chance against DT. And if DT on their end can also expand a bit on their pool, and like for example, I really don't want to see Phantom play faster in all 3 games. I mean, come on. Yeah, I know it's good to play your strong suit, right? But then again, show us something, show us versatility. Okay, they take down an Irrite and a Glue, and that's a faster takedown from how, of course. Like, why would you take down a faster? Because you've got Phantom. Phantom spams the faster in most of the tournament matches. That's what he picks. And T-Rex spams Lucas in all his tournament matches. Like, most of the time, T-Rex is playing Lucas if Lucas is not banned. Phantom is playing faster if faster is not banned. So these are 2 picks that give DT a chance, and Xavier, that's the Highways leader, has taken them down. So it's actually very, very wise of them to take down, this picks in this place. So Irrital and Glue is a very valuable one. Irrital takedown is actually because Irrital is actually a problem in a lot of lineups, and you having a Lucas takedown and a Glue takedown as well. So it's both teams are really considering a lot here. They're really considering the strength of each other and really trying to make the most of the lobby bans. And then when they get into the draft, they can, we're in already. We are in the draft. So we can see Shadow X here with the first ban for DT. The options. There are options. There's Hylos. Hylos is available.
I've been waiting for too long.
Wow. Taking down the carry is actually very nice because they give themselves a lot of advantages here. Because carry has a lot of damage and a lot of true damage, and if you're planning on running, if DT is planning on running a Gato Hylos lineup, a carry takedown is very, very valuable.
Only love at night.
Exactly. Preventing Phantom from using the Sicilian as an alternative since Fasa is not available. Then again, the Jusine is available. A Jusine is not banned in the lobby. Neither was he banned here. So it's actually very, very, very nice. So it's so nice. I really love the fact that how are being very thoughtful about their bans. They are very, very thoughtful. T-Rex will
experience the youthful suffering.
Himself. Wow. That was actually very, very, a very, very thoughtful one. Manlems will make the second ban for Hao. I think Manlems should, consider things here. Jusine is available, and Jusine is a very meta pick. Phantom could take, Jusine. Phantom could take Jusine, and then,
It's my way or the highway.
Shadow X. That was actually very valuable because an Ixia is actually one of Shadow X's strength. I think he got a Maniac with Ixia in the last match of DT. It's not the one against Celestials, the one before that. The last match of DT that we streamed, the last 2 matches, he got a Maniac. So taking down an Ixia is actually very valuable. Taking down, I think, like I said earlier,
Get lost or get arrested.
The 2 players in DT that are the most problematic here are Phantom and Shadow X. And once Phantom and Shadow X are fed, they can give DT a very good chance at the victory. And then you can see how we're really trying their best to draft against that. They're really considering these players, and they're
literally invented one.
Side of how taking advantage of that carry ban on the side of DT. Looks like DT bans backfired on them. Wow. They really took out the carry. They still have a Leslie available. There's a lot of true damage coming out from the Leslie. They can actually go for that. There's also some nice penetration coming from the Lunox. You can go for, you see the area of a marksman. There's no need to go for under marksman. They can go for a Lunox. A Lunox, mid is actually very good.
Among the plans exists the equilibrium, which I was made for.
That was honestly, I really think there's a misdirection here, because a Hylos doesn't really work very well with a Eve. I think what would have worked better with a Eve would have been probably a Tigreal or probably an Atlas, because Eve's ultimate cannot move, and then
Gaze the stars and seek your path.
from Malems. Wow, the Yin Yang Gyromancer. I really think a better tank would have gone with Eve, but then again, Hylos serves as a very good protector for for Layla. Hylos is a very good frontliner for Layla, so I think that was also let's knock down the Teresa, Smith of the Abyss, knock down, preventing T-Rex, of course, because when you don't have a Lucas, the Lucas have been banned in the lobby, and then when you don't have a Lucas available and then you lock down the Tigreal, T-Rex is left, and then a Glue 2 has also been locked, so T-Rex doesn't really have much options.
All who dare stand in my way will be devoured.
As a jungler, Hayabusa is available, so Xenos and Kenpachi, you could consider that. So yeah, I agree. Reborn, Layla first pick was a very, very risky move. Was a super risky move. It was oh my goodness, because now but then again, they're trying to compensate for it. They already have a Hylos working for them, so that's a very good one. And then Xenos here was
loaded and ready to bring the heat.
Wow, a Clint against the Layla. Well, there's definitely some range compatibility issues there already. But then again, I think Clint's double kind of gives him
It's like blood.
advantage. But then again, there's the cost of blood
And more than a weapon.
Like that's a word. Vampire from the house Abilene, Camilla herself. And then there's the son of the Smith legacy himself, Julian. And then Kenpachi responds to that with the final pick for Hao. Hao have some options here. There's a Hayabusa available. There's Ling available. Okay, so they could go for that. But I really want to see what Kenpachi responds to. But don't
See value in me?
Fraser from Los Pecados.
You should.
Wow, Fredrin. You see value in him? Yeah, you should. Wow, I really love that. And then they're swapping there. You can see Shadow X locking down Layla, swapping with Sam's Glory for the Eve. Wow, the draft is complete, and I want to see what the comments are saying about the draft. I just broke down the analysis for you guys. And then someone says, Liu and Chip. Obviously, when you see a Chip and you see a Liu, of course you're expecting some insane level rotation. You need to understand that Chip's ultimate grants them a very good advantage. That's over time. It grants them a very good advantage. And then Louis' divergence, that's our ultimate, grants them another advantage. So it's like they can be everywhere at the same time. How are really wanting, this is a team that want to dominate. They want to control the map. They want to make sure that everything is going according to plan. But let's hope that, planning and execution are two different things. I think I'm gonna reduce the system notification a little bit and the effect, not so that it's not overshadow my voice too much. So yeah, I think DT actually has an advantage here. With the with two tanks, they've got Cost of Blood, and they've got the Cost of Blood really resonates well with Yves reward manipulation, in the sense of the Cost of Blood tends to transfer CC to the linked enemies, not just the damage. It transfers the CC. So when Yves uses the reward manipulation, she can transfer the immobilization to the Cost of Blood. So that's a really thoughtful synergy there with the Yves and the and the Camilla. But execution is another thing. You can go with these picks, but how well you actually make it work is actually up to your team. But T-Rex right here trying to farm. T-Rex is actually jungling, not playing EXP. There's a Gato versus a Hylos on the EXP lane. Wow, that's definitely something we need to see. But the camera needs to be on the mid lane right now. T-Rex already trying to farm here. There's a farm recall. There's a recall spam from Xenos, but he's the only one. You can see the mid lane too as well. There's a farm recall there. So let's give them the 2-minute pause, because they deserve it. And then I think they've used up one of their pauses, and then that's the pause right there from Hao. I think one on that pause is also meant for the other team, which is DT, if they want to use it. So I'm going to be engaging the comments while we're waiting until 10:19. So someone says Frederick should focus Julian in team fights and keep him away from his team. I mean, that's literally goes unsaid. As a jungler, as a jungler, your opponent jungler is your highest priority after your objective, because he's literally the only person with retribution that can actually give you, a contest. So you want to try and neutralize their own jungler, or at least zone their own jungler out to make it difficult for him to actually come or maybe give you a tough, a run for your money in the contest for the objective. So while we're waiting, I'm gonna be engaging the comments. So someone says our draft is sick. I'm telling you, this is a full-on rotation draft, and this is a draft that also has some sustain. You've got a Gato, you've got a Hylos, you've got a Chip, and then you also got some nice damage coming in there. You've got magic damage coming in from Gato, from Liu Yi, Gato Steel Bones, Liu Yi's duality, and then you've also got some nice damage coming in from Clink's double shot, Clink's grenade bombardment, and then you also got some nice damage from the Appraiser's Wrath from the Fredrin. And on the side of DT, you've got the Curse of Blood from the Camilla. That's a nice CC there. And then you've also got the Yi's Reward Manipulation. You've got the Hylos. You've got the Hylos Glorious Pathway for that mobility and advantage. You've got T-Rex Smith's Legacy for that displacement and that magic damage. And then, you've got a lot of things going on here in this lineup. The lineup is, very interesting on the side of DT and very, very overpowered on the side of Hao. But execution is not the same as planning, like I said before. So let's see how well they're able to use, this lineup to their advantage. And then Tourney, there's the resume. And we've got Reborn here. Reborn saying that, okay, how you take 7 names. Okay, that's like the basics of the basics. Like, that's something that if everyone that, if you want to do commentary on a game, you need to at least know something about the game. That's like the base. Or else, what are you going to be saying? Okay, you can see Phantom here trying to, really provide some vision like a Roma should. And this is that Phantom is actually playing, Rome. And, Phantom is playing Rome rather than playing mid. That's an interesting thing to see, really, because Phantom usually play mid. I like how they're actually juggling their lanes, though, because I can see T-Rex also jungling rather than playing the EXP, but the EXP lane is actually getting pressured. They really know this is a team that know what they're doing. They know that in order to, when the first auto is spawning, you want to try taking out the fighter, the EXP laner, because he's actually going to rotate. He's the closest to the turtle, so he's going to be the one to get there first, and he's going to be the one to come and support. But T-Rex has already started this turtle with his Smith's Legacy, right there, trying to get as much damage in before Kenpachi would come, but the contest is already here. Ooh, Kenpachi is getting close to that moment when the Kenpachi is back to the coming, but this is Glorious Pathway. Kenpachi takes it as the Glory. Oh, that's the AOG, the real world manipulation from Sam's Glory to get as much immobilizing as possible. That's the Appraiser's Wrath from Kenpachi as the first blood is given to Madland. T-Rex responds with the double on Kenpachi. Oh, that's a triple for T-Rex as he's dominating, trying to get the trail, trying to get the maniac, but Xavier is getting away. Phantom ends him before he can. It's a triple for GT. Wow, an early game triple. T-Rex, that was amazing. I mean, Julian has an advantage in the early game, right? He has an advantage when it comes to damage, when it comes to magic burst, and when it comes to game mechanics as well. I think the Fredrin needs to just build a little bit of and I think Fredrin is gonna come up. I really hope Kenpachi knows what to buy, because build is also very important as a jungler. You need to know what you're doing. You need to actually know what you're doing. It's very important. And then you can see Xavier here really trying to move around the map. This is a cheat. You have advantage. I mean, you've got the 4 corners of your map at your whim. You can always get to anywhere you want. Like, once the cooldown allows you to. That's the thing about Chip. Phantom trying to check the bushes here like a Roma should. You'll get to the pressure. There's the overtime from the Chip and the double shot from this Clint. Xeno's trying to get as much damage here, but there's the Storm. Ooh, the Petrify from the Camilla, and Shadowx finishes off that Clint. The duality from Malem, trying to revenge for the Clint that fell, but Kenpachi will take out the Aroma as a fair exchange. A blood for a blood, and a teammate for a teammate. That will be an equal trade on the gold lane as the turtle spawns. Seeing Kenpachi already close to the turtle here. Both junglers will not comfort each other, but the chain and the scythe will be used by the Tourney, and T-Rex needs to get out of there. Uses the sword to escape. Wow, that was actually very good. Manlems already using the Chiefs portal, but then again, Kenpachi not wasting a second here on this turtle. You really need to make sure that there is little or no competition. They say 5-man on this turtle here. That's the thing about how everywhere at the same time, thanks to the Chief and the Luis divergence, all of them are able to actually come. But T-Rex will get to the dangerous position using the sword to get out of there. Wow, this Julian is really agile on his feet. I like that. But this Chief trying to invade the jungle. There's a Luis divergence from Manlems, really trying to signal them, but Luis will get to the other side of the map. There's a divergence from T-Rex, gets in a dangerous position, trying to take him out, shuts him down, puts him in his place. As how they back the game's momentum. There was a class of blood from them, but no one to follow up on that. Oh, there's a reward manipulation from Sam's Glory. Trying to get immobilized, but he's unbreakable. Gets started right there. Phantom trying to get out of there. He's petrified defensively. But will that cost them? How? Really still dominating in this match. Really trying to take control of things. Trying to make sure that things don't go out of hand here, because it's important that they control this map. They have the lineup to do that. They have the advantage. They have the the build. They have the sustain. They have the skills to achieve it. So they're really trying to really be everywhere at the same time. I love that so much. Trying to farm this gold crab, and you can see that the divergence has already been used by Manlems one more time against him. I mean, they have the advantage to move around the map. Really trying to see a good looking for a good opening here to use the divergence. But then Xenos hasn't really noticed Manlem's presence. Shadow X really unaware of what's preparing, what is about to happen. Trying to clear the minions. You need to be safe. You need to make sure you are in a safe environment. But misses the superposition on Shadow X. My goodness, they're in a dangerous position. Manlems will get taken down. It's a cost of blood. A 2-man cost of blood from the Carmilla. As Xavier goes down, the rotation backfires on Howl as they lose a teammate in a 2-for-0. Oh, that's the reward manipulation. The sword right there. Turret dives in a dangerous position, but not willing to let him go. Kenpachi takes him down as they revenge. Not willing to let any of them go. There's a touch. As Xenos gets a double. Operations Wrath coming in from Kenpachi, but not enough. Xenos couldn't find the grenade bombardment on him. Xavier really trying to enter the turret here. Dangerous position here, but Manlems is back with the divergence, not willing to follow that through. Xenos on the other end, the Devil of the Guardian from Royal Lion as the operation who comes in. Gets into the dangerous position here. We'll get taken down by the turret. Wow, it's going up for the rotation team. It's really not going so well right now for Howl, because I think they're not really taking advantage of. I think you can be everywhere at the same time, but then again, how's your micromanagement? I mean, you don't want to just rotate Kenpachi and get it right here. Okay, trying to get the city here in support. There's the overtime from the Chief. Not really popping out here. They know that Xenos knows that he needs to pop. Oh, we're trying to come in and that's the turret. Make sure that he doesn't get into a dangerous position. That's something you need to take note of, because you need to be sure that he doesn't get really brutal. It's crazy, but you need to make sure that as you're entering a Chief's portal, it's not actually going to get you killed. That's gonna get the grenade bombardment in, but Xenos not willing to follow that through. Manlems misses the duality on his Phantom, already got of blood, 2 marks of blood, but there's no follow-up as he gets taken down. T-Rex comes in, but gets shut down. Ooh, gets away with the sword, but the duality kicks in. Kenpachi gets a 2-man touch, as Kenpachi gets a killing spree. Xenos follows that up with a T-Rex, avenging his maze. Manlems really trying to dominate, being that psycho Fredrin up front, really trying to make sure that they make it work in this game. They've evened up the score. And they've made sure that they've taken down the turrets. I mean, 2 turrets are down on the side of, 2 turrets are down on the side of both teams. And they're taking back the momentum gradually. They've taken back the gold lead though. So DT really needs to make sure that they get back their game up, because right now this lineup is starting to work against them. Before, they were actually, kind of making sure, it worked and kind of enduring. But right now it's not actually going so well. Oh, that's unbreakable right there on the high note. Then dangerous position there, but there's no more time on the clip. The two-man Cause of Blood comes in, but there's little or no follow-up on it. But the glorious part of it will be put as the reward manifestation comes in from Sam's Glory. It's a glorious engagement right there. Shadow X trying to take out Xavier, but we'll take him out as Phantom supports him and steals the kill. But unfortunately, the cavalry arrives late as they find two members down already. Kenpachi couldn't be less bothered. He needs to get back to farming. He knows that that's not worth it, but we'll get in a dangerous position. Malem to engage T-Rex here. The duality kicking in to support him, but will that be enough? No, the Smithson legacy coming through for the son of the Rizzler as he takes out Malem. But Kenpachi comes in to avenge. Wow, Phantom is really trying to come in here to the Xenos. We'll find a grenade bombardment, but then again, not willing to take that shot and reveal his location. Xavier already given vision as a rumor should. Phantom as well doing the same. The Lord has spawned, but the macro management is keeping right now. The danger position to be in. Xenos will really get his stunned right there, but not willing to follow that up. There's not really much backline to support you, even if you do. You can see Kenpachi not anywhere close, trying to make sure that the lanes are managed. The lanes are managed on time and make sure that they are ready for this Lord. I can see they're already gathering around it. Xavier is really doing so well with the vision. And I love the fact that this chip knows that there's an engagement right there. There's a taunt right there. Phantom in a dangerous position, needs to get out of there as the Lord has started. How will not be a single second on this Lord? I like the fact that they're really making sure that this works out for them. It's crazy. But then they're making, there's a Lord strategy right there. The overtime from the cliff. But the Lord will be taken by T-Rex. The Cause of Blood right there. 4-man Cause of Blood. But they're still dominating. Xenos becomes unstoppable. They are Princess Wrath on T-Rex as they counter that lineup. The Cause of Blood is ineffective against Hao's lineup. It's crazy, but somehow they lost the objective and they're still making it work. Kenpachi still looking for an opening against this Xavier. Sam's Glory now. Trying to find the content. They're Princess Wrath! He takes out! Wow, that was crazy. Kenpachi being that psycho Fredrin up front. That is insane. The crystal energy coming through just at that moment. My goodness, that was insane. I totally did not see that one coming. Phantom really trying to come here to clear the lanes and give them a wave advantage. They're already losing the momentum. DT falling back really badly. They took the Lord. That helped a little bit in the waves. But then again, it's not actually looking, so nice. It's not actually looking so nice for them right now because, DT really needs to somehow find their, chivalry back. They need to find that. I understand Shadow X and Sam's Glory staying at the back like this, and there's an engagement right there from Kenpachi. Kenpachi takes out. Xenos takes out T-Rex actually. There's like I was saying before, they really need to find their chivalry back because that early game dance where DT had an advantage, which they obviously did, is over. Right now, there's an advantage for Hao, and they're really making the most of it. There's the overtime from the clinch as the cavalry arrives against. There's a two-man duality as the Cause of Blood is released on them, but has no effect as Phantom goes down to Malem. Sam's Glory taking out Xavier on the other end. This Layla is really staying behind because Shadow X knows that very important. Honestly, picking a Layla against a Fredrin or against a Gato is not really wise. Locking Layla's first pick was not really wise, to be very honest. I will say that for sure. I will definitely say that for sure. So, I think they should have gone for something better, something, that would have, given them a tough time. I can see that. I know that them actually banning, Ixia in the draft gave them a difficult time. It gave them a tough time, but I never knew that it was going to be this bad because, Shadow X right now doing so well though. The KDA looking good. I mean, check out the builds. Check out the builds for those of you that want to see it. So the KDA looking so good right now. It's they how won the draft. I agree with that. Okay, Reborn. I agree with that. But the game is half won. I like the fact that you use the word half won. Okay, Kenpachi really trying to engage Phantom right here. That's the poke right there from Kenpachi, but not willing to see that through. The Lord has spawned. Any dangerous move could be contradictory. But then again, you see, the advantage of a Fredrin is that the lower, oh, let's see overtime from the chip. Oh, already they are covering coming in. It's a 5-man. T-Rex goes down immediately. Phantom willing to follow him through, but the cost of blood will not be enough. As Xenos gets a godlike on him. This game party is taking so much damage, building enough crystal energy to use their Appraiser's Wrath as it takes down Layla in the back. That was a genius move. This psycho Frederick is still killing it. He's still doing wonders for Howell. Wow, that was insane. That was amazing. I mean, I was just saying it earlier that Frederick's mechanic actually helps him, a lot, because you think you are damaging the Frederick, you think you want to kill the Frederick, but you're actually prepared that his Appraiser's Wrath is gonna deal, and the crystal energy fades with every, the crystal energy fades with, I think, 2 seconds or 3 seconds, every 3 seconds, and then as long as he doesn't, there's a overtime from the Kent, then the person right there, Phantom will get taken down, started by the Unbreakable. Xenos finishes the entire fight, dead, immobilized, real one manipulation for the Appraiser's Wrath. It's not enough to win that crown from the Frederick, really trying to make it work. And party T-Rex want to make it work, but it's gone. Danger finishes right there, gets taken down by my lambs. T-Rex not going to survive that encounter, falls to Howell. Wow, right now they're really trying to avoid him. Kepachi really trying to push the inhibitors here, trying to engage, trying to end this game as Blank is really trying to defend their meat. Well, they could actually take it though. They could take the second inhibit. Wow, Malem. Ooh, Shadow X takes out Malem, but because of blood is missed. That was a dangerous one. That was a bit of an overextension. Punished. That was a bit of an overextension. I mean, I think Malem should really watch. He should watch it. I think he should start. I don't think he should, really make those moves like he would do in the early games. So right now in the late, and the Layla is actually doing so well right now. And she's kind of slightly performing more than our fellow teammates, more than the jungler actually, because T-Rex almost has 10 deaths. I think she needs to be very careful right now with positioning. That's something she needs to work on, or he needs to work on, because Malem's is a guy. And then you can see Blank here, really trying to give vision. I like that. They've got Hylos on the other end, and then Phantom on this end as well. 2 tanks giving vision on both sides of the jungle. I mean, you can't go wrong with that, right? You can't go wrong with that. So, with that being said, we can see that the Dotto spawns in the next 50 seconds. I don't know what's wrong with Xenos though. I don't really know why Xenos is actually moving alone in this late game. But then again, a 2k crit damage from double shot. That is actually a ridiculous number, man. That is crazy. I mean, Xenos right now, I'm not saying he's actually fed, because he actually has 8 kills and just 1 death. So, trying there for the divergence. Manlands, what are you cooking? What are you cooking right now? The Lord has spawned. Will be a dangerous one, but Chip goes in to check the process right there. But the overtime comes in. The cavalry arrives. Because of blood has returned. Oh, they just push it right there. But the real world manipulation is used wrongly as Royal Lion takes the Fury dive into the backline, but will be taken down. Kenpachi goes in. The crystal energy is available. The Appraiser's Wrath comes in as he decimates Blank. This Hylos is not enough. The taken blood will not be enough to sustain that damage as Howell takes game 1. Wow, that was insanity. That was crazy. I mean, I think you actually, I think you actually predicted that one. How made that? They did them dirty with the Frederick, and it was just crazy. I gotta give this guy a like. Kenpachi impressed me with the Frederick. Shadow X tried with the Layla. With that being said. So oh, my game is loading. So let me just a little bit on my notifications. Okay, yeah, so that's it. So that's the invite from Coney. We're just gonna go here real quick. So yeah, so comments. Let's see the G's. What's going on, guys? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? What do you guys think of game 1? What do you guys think? Let me engage you guys. Let me see what you guys are thinking. Let me see what you guys are saying. So comments. I'm open. Talk to me now. So someone says, how Shoku? Well, I will try. I will really do well. They dominated so much. They killed it. They were absolutely insane. Like that Frederick was crazy. I don't know what Kenpachi is, but I really want to see Kenpachi in game 2. I don't know why Royal Lion has replaced Kenpachi, but they better remove him because Kenpachi right now is their star player. So Akane Sniper, you missed. Hao won the first match and they absolutely decimated. They lost the early game, but they won the mid and the late. And yeah, they used a very high rotation comp. They had a Luyi and they had a Chip. So someone says my squad is switching. Okay, Daniel, if you're a Hao member, congratulations, you're in the winning team. You're on the winning team. Okay, so that's that. So I think they're gonna just coordinate the teams, and that will be it. They're gonna wait for the teams. I'm gonna play game 2. So I really hope that DT are gonna learn from their mistakes, because DT had the first game, and they could actually take the second game if they actually play their cards well, and then take out the problematic picks. They could take the second game. But then again, it's going to be a tight one, because right now Hao already have an advantage over them. And someone says Kenpachi isn't replaced. Don't want. Please let them not replace him. Let them not replace him, because right now he's the one giving me joy right now on the stream. So let them not. Yeah, Fredrin was crazy. Fredrin was actually crazy. Fredrin was OP. Someone says Clint try now. Yes, Clint actually tried. Friend, a little bit of positioning problem like the Loyi, but I think they kind of made up for it by Fredrin's covering and the Gato. Someone says he's coming again. Yeah. Malem Kenpachi, please, we need you here. You are the star of tonight, so please, we need you here. Okay, so like I was saying before, I really hope DT makes up for their loss and understand that it's not just about the game itself. The draft comes into play, and then they also, make up a contingency plan for that kind of lineup, for a lineup that has a very heavy rotation potential. I think DT should really, at this point, consider that. So that's one thing I really want to say to DT. It's not over yet. You still have a chance. You still have a chance to take it. You still have a very good chance to take it. And truly, you can make a comeback. DT had struggled against Celestials. They won the first match and they made a mistake, and they lost the second due to a rule break and all that. And the third one, they lost to Celestials. But that doesn't mean history will repeat itself. DT, you can still take this game. You can still make it work. Okay, in Mobile Legends, just because you lose the first best of 3 does not mean you've lost everything, no matter how oppressive your enemy may be. Okay, you can. I'm encouraging DT players, if you are in the stream right now, our game plan was what won. No. See, Robert, I disagree with you for that one. Did you not see how that chip was putting the overtime and how all of them were coming at the same time? Do you think if they didn't have chip, they would be able to attack them like that? Do you think if Lois Divergence did not play a role in that, they won't? No now, guy. No now. Guy, you say, like, you to think about it yourself. Like, they obviously, that lineup was what, the high rotation line, the fact that they had, that's basically the idea. Like, the idea of having a Lois and a chip is because you want to be everywhere at once. That is basically what your plan is, basically, guy. That's it. So, yeah, that's the game plan. Sorry, I'm just seeing the comments right now. That's the game plan. So yeah, it's just something. They executed it well. That's another thing. Reborn, I agree with you. They executed it well. Like, we're saying this thing at the beginning of the game, whereby I was saying it's not about the picks, it's not about planning. Execution is also something that also come into play, and that's exactly what Hao did. They just convinced me that, okay, Black, we can plan and we can also execute properly. So it's something that was so nice, and it was so nice. Really, I'm not okay. I don't get to see a Fredrin do well all the time. And Kenpachi has just changed my viewpoints towards Fredrin junglers, especially Nigerian Fredrin junglers. So, him just being that absolute psycho Fredrin up front using that appraiser's rat on, you know, the squishes, making sure that once he's low on HP and he has enough crystal energy and crystal combo points, he just goes to the back, uses the appraiser's rat and snipes them away. It's crazy, but that was what he was doing, and it was working. I mean, there was this one time he just one-tapped the Layla, and it was crazy inside the turret. So, you know, it's yeah, his teammates doing their part, of course. No one player is a one-man army. No one player is a one-man army, okay? No one player can do everything. You can be good. I mean, we saw that with you know, the teams yesterday, whereby Terror was really trying so hard to win, you know, the match, but
All who dare stand in my way will be devoured.
There's a limit to which one player can, you know, try. That's the thing. Let me just put that word. There's a limit to which one player can try. If the yeah, I agree with that, Robert. That Layla one tap was crazy. You know, if the teammates are not actually, like, you know, supporting you very well, even if you are the most fed person in the world, you dominate in the early league. If your teammates are bad and that game is stretched, you are going to lose that game. You are definitely going to lose that game unless your opponent kind of make a mistake that you leverage on. That's it. So okay, so I didn't actually see that I didn't actually see the bans in the lobby. I'm sorry, I was so engrossed in engaging the comments, you know, so I didn't actually
love is like blood.
Okay, Reborn saw it. Okay, thank you, Reborn, thank you for that. Nice save. So like I was saying earlier, okay, finally there's a Camila ban on the side of How.
Who said there are no shortcuts in life? I literally invented one.
To be fair, Chip's overtime was more problematic than Liu Yi's divergence. So it's actually more reasonable to take down a Chip than a Liu Yi. And then Xenos, yeah, ban for ban, obviously an eye for an eye. Wow. Locking out the Lucas, preventing T-Rex from using the Lucas. That is actually a very wise move from How. Stealing
Gaze the stars and seek your path.
A pick as well. Malems, he stole his Loyi. Wow, I think they're kind of right now. They're just doing
Let's hear from the crowd.
each other.
Make some noise for yours
You use my
truly.
pick, I use your pick, right? I mean, you steal T-Rex pick, I'll steal Malem's pick. So you know, it's an eye for an eye at this point. But Sam's Glory will lock down a chip. On the other end, you can see Malem's. Malem's has options here. I mean, other mages are still available. Sicilian is available. Jusin is available. You know, you could go for that. One of these meta picks. You could go for that. But Malems is no longer playing the mid lane. Wow. Malems is actually jungling here. Wow. Efasa? Wow. That is definitely a very good one. Crowd control, nice crowd control right there. You know, coming in from Malems. I love that. It seems like Malems is a fan of crowd control mages because Louis is a crowd control mage and Bill as well. So T-Rex will respond to that. Yeah. You know, Sicilian is there. Exactly. I was saying that, Robert. I was saying that Sicilian is available. Sicilian is available. So you guys should actually, you know, these are picks that are available. One thing about bans is that when you are too engrossed at taking out a particular
I am more than a weapon.
You leave out other heroes that could be potential problems or potential threats available. That's one of the disadvantages of just being, you know, you want to counter this. Exactly. You see, this is synergy we're talking about here, but unfortunately, they don't have a tick. They don't have a tick, unfortunately. I think the tick purified trauma is still in the...
See value in me?
Finally, a fresh tick down from DT. That I think we all saw that one coming. With the way Kenpachi played Fredrin, I think I agree with them on this ban. I totally agree with them. Personally, I would take down a Fredrin myself because that was just ridiculous. That was... You know, that dominated with it.
My mission is to protect lives.
Wow, it takes a Hylos takedown is actually very bad because a Hylos was actually the one that was giving them closure and, you know, really front line for their team. Right now, they don't have any solid front lines on the side of DT. Gato and Hylos are down already. Lucas is down already. Frederick is down. So there are not many front line options available. The glue is available. I don't know if a glue. Oh, okay, a glue is down already. Sorry, a glue is banned. So Quanshel will take down the Archive. Wow. That was actually a very
Welcome to the land of dawn.
He used this pick against Celestials, but he lost. They lost against Celestials. But then again, I really want to see how he fares against, in this team. And Akai, they needed a frontliner. Actually, they needed a frontliner because Julian is not really that much of a frontliner. Neither is Sissy. Sissy is not really very.
Demons, I shall be your eternal nightmare.
Frontliner. And his heavy spin Sissy is actually very nice. Okay, Kenpachi goes for an Alucard instead. Well,
experience the euphony of suffering.
DT. So actually, him going for Alucard is not actually a bad move. It's not actually a bad move. I mean, the official way from the Alucard and his passive, the pursuit, really grants him the ability to get really, really close to his opponent and kind of stick with them. Alucard is like this glue that you cannot just get off your body. Especially when Alucard is a very good move. I agree with that, Robert. I agree with that. Shadow S will make the final pick on the side of DT. You can see the options here.
Our determination will never be extinguished.
Claude instead. I don't know, but I feel like Ixia would have been better because I think Ixia would have been better in this situation. But then again, against an Alucard, I think a Claude is actually better, because Claude can easily escape Alucard compared to Ixia. So, with that being said, the draft is complete. Right now, it's not really easy to tell if how you really, really dominate like they did in the last one because Kenpachi, I've not seen a Kenpachi on Alucard before. But then again, we also have on the side of Sam. We've finally got the pair, Sam's Honor and Sam's Glory, for DT here. So, yeah, let me engage the comments while the game is loading like I normally would. So someone says glue is another level of pain. My goodness, I agree with you there, Akin. Glue is problematic. I mean, the split, and the possession, whereby he transfers 80% of the damage to his host. That is overpowered. That is just crazy. Okay, someone says look at this Kenpachi. Oh my goodness. Well, I definitely am going to enjoy this. Well, I'm going to enjoy this. Okay, someone says Alucard means I'm gonna be pulling crazy shit. Well, I really wanna see what he's gonna do, but the meeting is getting heated. I see Quanche here. I think Quanche is roaming. Okay, Quanche is roaming actually. Sam's Glory is the one with the EXP. And then, okay, you can see Kenpachi is the one that is jungling as usual. The signature jungler for Hao. Malems on the mid with the veil. The Little has spawned. Kenpachi will come to contest. But unfortunately, T-Rex not putting much of a contest. But the Little will be won by T-Rex. A very easy and less troublesome contest there. As Kenpachi goes for the purple ball. But then again, the mid lane will get heated. You see Quanche here trying to really make sure he supports Sam's Honor on the mid lane. Then again, Royal Lion engaging Sam's Glory on the other end. And then the gold lane is also getting heated. Xavier coming in to help Shadow X. Quanche already using the passive right there. Xavier will use the regeneration to gain back some HP that he lost. Shadow X. Then again, Xavier really has an advantage here. Really trying to check the bushes as the Roma should. T-Rex, gets pushed there. Almost gets taken down already. There's the engagement right there from Kenpachi. With the finisher wave. Borshu's not willing to go as he gets the first blood on Quanche. Like they're waiting for the Borshu. Like they're not willing to let him go. And Zeno 6 the kill. And the Lord has spawned. Kenpachi will get an easy Lord. Or an easy total rather on the jungle. Wow, that was a very good timing of engagement. Kenpachi is a jungler that knows when to engage. Because he knew that he was using T-Rex using his sword. And when Julian uses his sword, he's actually untargetable and he knew the offensive damage for the duality. Oh, T-Rex steals the total instead. Wow, that's a very good game. We saw this kind of gameplay in the last game whereby DT took the early games. They were dominating in the early games. This Julian was doing so well in early games. I don't really understand Shadow X playing here. I think the network got to him there. And we saw this thing in the early game. I don't really know why Kenpachi is not really taking that into note. And went for the invade instead. I think he shouldn't have gone for the invade. I think he should have, kind of calm down and really farm. Because the last, you can see the spawn right there. The spawning recall. There's a spawning recall right there. Okay, running to pause. We give them a 2 minutes. But that's the second pause we are giving to them. Okay, actually, this is DT Sports now. So, how was the last one we gave pause? So, this is DT Sports. So, 2 minutes, until 10:54. So like I was saying before, we saw this thing whereby Julian dominated in the early game, in the last game. We saw it. And he's doing the same thing right now. Right now, he has a 3-1-1 KDA, he has a kill, death, assist, ratio. And then he is doing it right now whereby he wins the earlies. And I don't know if he's gonna drop in the late because Kenpachi is also dominating, but that takedown there was kind of an L on his end. But the scores are tied, and the gold lead is now given to DT due to that mishap there. This is that little mishap in the jungle there, the invade that wasn't really wise on their end. But then again, T-Rex, yes, I agree, Emperor. T-Rex has very good retry sense, and T-Rex is actually the better retry here when it comes to a jungling advantage. T-Rex actually has the best retry reaction, and Kenpachi has the best fighting sense and overall jungling sense. But when it comes to securing the objective, I think we're gonna give T-Rex that one. I think we're gonna give him that one. But I really hope that this early game advantage he just gained due to that slight mishap with something that he's gonna ride on and snowball from. I really don't want to see him fall in the mid to late game like he did in the last one. So we're gonna be engaging the comments until 10:56. So someone says Alucard would always take it. Well, in the early, definitely. But I really hope Kenpachi, being its main, he knows the limitations of Alucard, so as not to push it unnecessarily, right? Because he needs to be wary of Akai. Akai has the heavy spin, and Alucard is very vulnerable to CC. Alucard doesn't have any CC immune or CC immune skills or any form of CC advantage, anti-CC advantage. So he needs to be very careful of that, and he also needs to be careful too of Sam's Glory, because Sam's Glory's ultimate can actually restrain him from using pursuit. Yes, he cannot dash because of the string on the threads. So he needs to be very, very careful of those two heroes. And yeah, Alucard is very big to CC. That's established already. Quan She really trying to rotate right here, really trying to give vision to his marksman as a reaction. But T-Rex gets a killing spree. Wow, Xavier, misses the heavy spin right there. Quan She, valuable resource used just when Sam's Honor brings in T-Rex. The cavalry is arrived. You're getting a 3-man unbreakable right there, but that's too much damage for the steel bones in the early game as it goes down to Sam's Honor. Wow, really trying to push things here, but not willing, as he knows that he's outnumbered on that lane. Kenpachi really trying to clear the lanes and make up for Manlems on the mid lane. They already recall spamming. I think we need to give a pause to Hao. Yes, Tourney has given them the pause, so give them a 2-minute pause. Okay, someone says there's only one CC, and that's Akai. Yes, that's Akai. But then again, there's also CC, like as in the character CC. Right, you need to also be aware, because whenever CC puts her ultimate on Alucard cannot use pursuit. Pursuit is Alucard's passive. Whenever he casts his skill, he's going to be able to dash to the opponent that, depending on your target settings, could be the one with the lowest HP, could be the closest in proximity, but basically he dashes to the nearest target. Okay, so yeah, that's the Loi's duality. Okay, that's what it's called. And CC's ultimate, Julian's S2. No, Julian's S2 only makes him untargetable and immune to damage. Okay, so his enhanced S2, and also he needs to also be careful too, as well. I think you meant S3, Julian's S3, because Julian's S3 is the one with immobilize. So Hero Senpai, really good knowledge of the game there. Kudos to you. And then we're waiting for the pause. And once it's on pause, we continue on this game. I really hope DT rides on this little advantage they have here. They have the gold lead, the kill lead, and surprisingly, they don't have the wave lead yet. And they don't have the wave lead yet. So that's something they really need to do to ride on and snowball. They need to snowball. They need to snowball on this, because if they don't, they're gonna pick it up. They have a Lucas, they have a Gato. And once those guys get to late games, my goodness, they will be a problem for this lineup. And Quan She, depending on how effective his heavy spin is, could be the make or break for the teams, for DT in this match. But I really don't want to see DT go home with a 2-0 loss. This is the quarterfinals. It's not going to be very nice for their spirit. I really believe in them, and I believe that even if they lose to how they can still make it a 2-1 victory. So with that being said, we're back in the games, and I'm going to stop engaging the comment right now and focus already. There's the Dotto has spawned. There's not really much support coming in here from How. You can see that Malems is AFK. Not really, there's not much mobility from his end, but Dotto has spawned anyways. Kempachi really trying to farm here, but Dotto has spawned. But then again, there's not really contest here. Oh, T-Rex already coming in. Wow, the contest is coming. Oh, they're bringing the fight to them instead. I love that. I love that so much. They're really trying to secure, but Kempachi not willing to contest. I don't blame him though, because there's not really support. They could be talking already. Xavier comes already using the unbreakable defensively to get up, but there's the yo-yo placed on him. Oh, there's the duality coming in to clear the minions. To be honest, Xenos is actually trying here, because there's a look at the gang that is really cooking up for him. There's almost a 4-man gang here, and he needs to be very, very careful, because I think they're trying to use a Pincer strategy. I love the Pincer strategy here, coming in from the other end, trying to use the Death Sonata to check, but the Rhapsody will put him in trouble as he uses the Rondo in a very dangerous way. My goodness, that was not good. Oh, the Avatar of the Guardian is defensively to clear the minions, trying to protect the lanes, but the Steel Bones not taking enough damage to sustain the Gato as Xavier goes down in an attempt to defend the Tier 1 on the gold lane. Wow, Royal Lion, they're coming in here on EXP, needs to hold its own. Make sure that the Tier 1 on the EXP is not lost as well. Kempachi not ready. They're spamming the recalls again. Will Tourney give them a second pause? Because they already had one pause in the last game. Will Tourney give it to them? I mean, that's up to the ref at this point. They've had 2 pauses. How many pauses are they allowed in the game? That's the one thing. I don't see any pause right there from Tourney. It looks like How has used up all their pauses. I'm really sorry, How. I really want to give you guys a pause, because I really want this game to be fair. But then again, Xavier will try his best to come and defend. It looks like DT will have an easy win. They don't have a mage right now. They don't have a mid laner. That's disadvantageous. Death Sonata, Xenos, they're trying to get as much damage out from Rhapsody as possible, trying to clear the minions already. Wow, the mage is AFK. We're aware the mage is AFK, and they're signaling for a pause. I don't really know what's going on here. Tourney, come on. What's going on? I think they've used up their pause. Tourney's not going to award a pause to them. Tourney's available. Tourney's in the lobby, but he's not actually going to award a pause. They've used 2 of their pauses already. Unfortunately, How, I'm sorry. I really want to do something, but I can't. The rules are the rules. The rules are the rules, okay? So T-Rex already coming in, trying to take the Tier 1 here. DT really riding on this advantage they have, but Royal Lion will go down as Quantier makes it difficult for him to defend. Wow, this is not looking good for How. The second game is not looking good for them at all. DT really riding on this, trying to bring them out of their misery quickly. Kempachi will use it for 6 to clear the lanes. And then we can see Malems here. Xenos really taking advantage of that Violet Requiem, the Rhapsody, the Death Sonata, trying to clear the lanes as fast as possible. And Xavier really trying to rotate the EX lane here. Oh, Kempachi engages T-Rex, but T-Rex will get away. Royal Lion trying to use Unleash the Beast, but there's a shockwave blast from him on Quantier. Harmless as Quantier walks out unharmed. And Royal Lion really trying here to come in to defend. T-Rex will try for a Pincer strategy, but gets in a dangerous position here. Taunted by the Unbreakable, trying to use the sword to get away with the Ice Retribution. You get that speed boost out. Xenos really trying to use the Rhapsody here. Already coming in on the other side. They're spamming the recalls, but there's still nothing they can do. There's still nothing you can do here. You've used up your pauses. I'm sorry. How? Xavier. Oh, Quantier here. Really trying to take the Tier 2 on the gold lane. Xenos trying to get as much Rhapsody as much as possible. But Xenos needs to stay behind Xavier here, but the duality will come in to bring him back. And use the Rondo to get up, but then, oh my goodness, this Claude is not relenting. There's a blazing duet. Okay, Bachi gets a shutdown. Not willing to give up the pursuit. Not willing to relent. Kempachi, there's no damage coming in as he stamps on against a killing spree. That was a very nice blazing duet from that Claude. I really like that engagement. I really like that engagement, really. Honestly, the fact that Malems is not available is really, really harming. Oh, I think he's back. I can see him moving. Oh, actually, I think they are controlling him. Is that him control? Okay, I think he's back. I think Malems is back. Yeah, I think Malems is back. I think Hao should be good now. Hopefully, I think the Lord has spawned already. It's not gonna be a contest here. Malems is coming. Malems is already back. So Kenpachi already as well. Trying to join the. Oh, there's a heavy spin right there from Quanche, but unfortunately that's not close to the wall. So not really an efficient use right there. Kenpachi already engaged right there for T-Rex. Beats them as he takes the right to the bloody tip right there as Kenpachi goes down. Well, and unleashes that beast, but they need to retreat. This is not a good one to engage in here. Xeno's trying to get as much Rhapsody out as possible. He needs that physical damage to deal. Oh, that's not really good. I think Kenpachi, as soon as he lost that rectory battle, I think he should have just retreated, because right now the waves are not in their advantage. And this is what we're talking about actually. We're saying this, that T-Rex has better rectory, better rectory reaction than Kenpachi. Kenpachi knows how to kill. Kenpachi is very good with jungling, and he has good fighting sense. But then again, when it comes to securing the objective and getting the objective, T-Rex, shines, there, and that is really giving, DT. That's really giving DT an advantage here. It's really giving them an advantage, and they are riding on this advantage, really taking advantage. They have the wave lead, the gold lead, the kill lead, and the Lord is approaching on the other end. So right now, DT are looking good. I mean, just before that, they kind of took advantage of Malems, network issues, and they kind of took advantage of Malems' absence. But then again, wow, the Lord has been taken down already. But Quanche uses the unbreakable is in. As unleashes the beast. He's trying to come in. Kenpachi takes down the product. Well, Lion goes down. He's a dangerous one. But still pushing it right there. Kenpachi shuts down Sam's glory. Trying to get away with pursuit, but unfortunately T-Rex doesn't let him go. It's a 4-for-3 in favor of DT. Wow, Kenpachi, I think Kenpachi needs to chill, because you fighting with that kind of HP, despite the fact that 3 of your teammates were down already. I mean, I know that the respawn timer is still low, since we're still fairly in the late game, the early late game. So T-Rex takes out Xenos in the turret. But not willing to push it out, unleashing that beast instead, not willing to let him go. This Lucas Royal takes him down as Xavier comes in to defend against the wave. That's very necessary. So, okay, you said you want to see the builds. Yes, I agree. See, I was saying this, in the earlies. I said this during the draft. Goodness, I said, Sicilian would have been better than a Veil. Right now, Malems is not actually doing well with the Veil. Malems, and again, he's not gonna even be able to get the most of Wing Talk, because Wing Talk, thrives when you have assist and kills. Right now, he only has 5 assists, even though he have 5 stacks. But then again, kills is what really counts here than especially as in Mage. But assists are also fairly good. Assists are fairly okay too as well. So with that being said, the turtle will spawn in the next 8 seconds as Shadow X buys the Winter Crown. Wow, this is someone that really wants to use the Blazing Duet while not taking damage, even though he already has the Vengeance to support. And then Royal Lion trying to take for bushes here. They just runs into Quanche and Sam's Honor, but will get away before that could become lethal. Malem, we're trying to zone in here. Xavier, Shadow X trying to take out Xavier, but the Unbreakable will be used. Shadow X uses the Blazing Duet on him. Nice one, using the avatar of the Guardian defensively to get out of there, because he knows that he already popped the Winter Crown, but there's a brutal engagement right there on T-Rex. Not willing to let him go. Kenpachi with a Fisher Wave on their Alucard. But then again, this Claude is looking for an opening to end this game. Malem's in a dangerous position here, but the Lord has spawned. There's little or no contest. Kenpachi willing to pull back to defend against this Lord. Wow, Kenpachi still trying to see if he could contest for this Lord, as there's a support right there. The jungler is down, so right now this is a very good misses. Salisbury gets out. That was a tight one. That was a tight, because if he had gotten it right, I think he kind of interfered. I think he also tapped it because he didn't use hero lock. If he had used hero lock, I'm sure he would have gotten to Sam's Glory and taking him out. So Sam's Glory, you are lucky he used the auto tap there. Yeah, so right now how are still trying to take this game. It's crazy, but they're actually doing it because right now they're trying to push the lanes. They're trying to push there. You can see Xavier on the other end, really trying to make sure that this waves. But then again, T-Rex will come in to take this loss from the center. Kenpachi coming into defense. Oh, there's the picture wave right there. He's trying to use the support, but then again, the execution has been used already. Oh, gonna come in for the low lead. But then again, Kenpachi needs to show some restraint. Oh, let's take him down, but buy Zeno some time as they approach from the other end. DT members really trying to get back here with the divergence. Wow. Well, I don't really know if that was a double-edged sword or that was part of their plan. But then again, that really worked because that bought them some time to push and gain back some momentum because they took down the turret up to the inhibitors. Wow. That was a big brainer move right there from Kenpachi. Him ruthlessly engaging blindly like that was kind of worked because right now the waves are not exactly against them completely. Ooh, T-Rex taking so much damage right here. Engages Royal Lion on the other end. Royal Lion taking so much damage. Ooh, there's the bait! And T-Rex goes down! Wow! That was a very interesting bait. I love that. That almost backfired though because Royal Lion almost got taken out. Right there, Xenos trying to poke safely. Stands Honor in the bush. Gonna get divergence into Xenos. Oh, they're trying to push here. Is this the push? The base. Oh, flickers out just before that could get lit out. Is this the push? Could they be making a wave to end the game? Is that possible? I can see the map control right here. I can see the split pushing right here going on with Xavier and Kenpachi. Wow. I love this actually. I love this. Manlands really trying to come in and support Kenpachi on the other end. DT are starting to slowly lose the momentum, and I don't like this. They had the momentum when Malems was not available, and right now they are losing it. They are gradually losing it because they've taken back. Our have taken back the gold lead. It's crazy, but they have. Xenos really trying to engage right here, poking gently because that's what a marksman should in the early games. But then again, Xavier will try to come in here to pincer against Sam's Glory. The position to be in for Sam's Glory already knows how to maneuver that situation. Yeah, it's Royal Lion already coming in here. Yeah, try to come in, zone them out. But then again, T-Rex is in a dangerous position. I like the fact that T-Rex is Death Sonata on T-Rex. They're really trying to distract him. But then again, he's back here to contest. Wow, this Claude is really trying to end the game. Wow. Shadow X, they're trying to contest right here, but then again, Kenpachi is getting pressured right here by Sam's Glory. Xenos in a dangerous position trying to get Death Sonata out, take Sam's Glory out, but T-Rex already takes the Lord. Oh, 2 members down. T-Rex going to come in to rendezvous, but the Cavalry already arrived. My level to dangerous position. Kenpachi, trying to engage right there. Then Kenpachi needs to show some restraint. He goes down. The Death Sonata forcing them to come out. G. Royal Lion, they're trying to come in, just trying to look for a wipeout. Shadow X is the only one alive as they misses out. Oh, they're trying to push for it, but then again, the minions will betray them. My goodness. Wow, I love this. Xenos coming in from the back, gonna clear the minions right here, gonna give them an advantage on the other end. Wow, how have nearly taken back the kill lead? It's crazy, but how are gradually taking back the kill lead? They're taking back gold lead. And they're taking back the wave lead as well. Kenpachi, I don't really know what Kenpachi's deal is. I want to call Kenpachi a little bit too bloodthirsty. But then again, how his death kind of makes up for the teammates in a way that him dying actually makes his teammates win team fights and gets more trade when it comes to hero losses. It's kind of a double-edged sword at the same time. It's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, right? Because sometimes when Kenpachi is very low on HP, he still pushes forward for a fight. It's crazy. But somehow it works out for Hao, and let's see whether that's gonna keep working out for them or not. Well, Alucard is a demon hunter. Let's get that clear, okay? He's a demon hunter from the Monian Empire. Okay, so Kenpachi right now is really trying to clear the way. Same with Royal Lion on the other end. Divergence coming in. There's a 5-man divergence right there, but they will miss. Royal Lion unleashes the beast. Looks to engage right there. It's a 4-man. The blazing duet from the squad as he takes down Royal Lion on the other end. He gets a killing spree, but it's a near wipeout. 4 members down on DT. Quanche, the only man standing for DT as the divergence backfires like it did against Celestials. Is history repeating itself? Xenos will push the other lanes. Wow, is this the end for DT? Is this the end? Is this the moment where Usman taking too much damage to get out of there for the strike? Quanche really tries to defend, but then again, the base is taken down. The minions will come in, try to take as much damage as possible, but then again, this Xenia, the minions gonna take, oh come on, Xenos, can you end it? Yes, he does. How will take game 2 as TT loses in a crushing 2-0 defeat. Wow. Well, MG, I guess you can now affirm to what I said. It's sad, but DT lost. DT lost. And they had an advantage because Manlems had network issues. So it's really somehow. Kempachi, I don't know how you did it, but truly you're the real MVP of this match. Your moves were what made your team win. And truly, it was a beautiful match. Okay, so commentary, I really appreciate you guys for staying with me up to this point. I remain your humble commentator, Black Matter, and remember to be unapologetically you. And I wish you good luck in your ranked matches and your classic matches. And I hope you learned something from the stream as well, because the stream is not just for you to entertain you. You can also learn a thing or two from the games that can help better your decision making in game. And with that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night and have a nice one.